media as we were covering the disaster that struck throughout Queensland over that period of time. So it's great to have you all here today. I'd like to take this opportunity as well to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this ceremony is taking place and the elders past and present. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the opposition leader John Paul Lengbrook, who I noticed here as well joining us this morning. Australia Day is a day to join together and to celebrate what's great about Australia and being Australian. Whether it's our rich history, our unity, our diversity, our unique identity, our outstanding achievements, our distinctive culture, or our strong values, we certainly have so much to celebrate. I think you'll agree. And as you know, Queensland is reeling, as I said, from the worst natural disaster in our history. In recent weeks, 3/4 of the state has felt the devastation of raging flood waters, and we now face the enormous reconstruction task ahead.
Today, as well as a poem that I wrote a few years ago. This poem is aimed at Aboriginal children. It's a concern of most Aboriginal people. I also would like to just mention, as an Aboriginal Australian who feels very blessed to be Australian, that I also have a non-Aboriginal Australian heritage. And as my father would say, because he was very mixed as well as my mum, he was a bit of a bitzer, so which is an Aussie thing. I actually was part of the stolen generation, what people call the stolen generation, but I see myself as being a member of the shared generation, because having non-Aboriginal foster parents, I had a bond with them in Melbourne. I was sent to Melbourne just a year after the referendum in 1967 to go to school. I think it was a silent policy of the assimilation policy of assimilating Aboriginal people into modern day Australian society. But I was actually at a Rolling Stones concert in the early 1970s and was coming away from it, and I actually first met my father there on that day. He's since died, but he was very active in the Aboriginal community here. And he's from the Birrigubba tribe and the Kangaroo tribe of Central Queensland. Those areas where he comes from. His mother was born in Emeralds, was severely hit by the flood. He's also African American Australian, as well as English Australian descent. And on my mum, besides being part of the Turrbal people, who are the original people of Brisbane, she is from the Gubbi Gubbi people of the Sunshine Coast, and also the Kamilaroi people out at St George, on the Maranoa River and the Balonne River, which was also hit hard by the floods. We have a story in our traditional business, and the Glasshouse Mountain is about a sudden extreme flood. If people get the time to learn about our stories, it's one of our dreaming stories. I'd like to give this gift from the Kamilaroi people of southwestern Queensland. It's a song about a hope, because that's circle on the Aboriginal flag. And it's about the sunrise. It's the sun, because the sun comes up every day. And then I'll finish with the poem, and I hope everybody have a great day today. I'm a little bit nervous, you can hear it in my voice, so please bear with me. Jobin, Kiruka, Kara, Kiruka, Jobin, Kiruka, Jobin, Kiruka, hiruka, Jabin hiruka. Spirits of the land, share. For yesterday's tales, they tell of gruesome tales. Now the seeds of hate and anger must be kept at bay, because the dreaming journeys of the dispossessed, they have to continue to the place of rest. So dreamtime children, know your sign. To take your place, to take your path of journey, it's a must to find. Are you a possum, an emu, a wallaby? Now search inside yourself. Go find your destiny. Yellow sun, black and red, sign of hope for the road ahead. That yellow sun upon the black and red, that is the sign of hope for the road ahead. And just talking about totems and animals, our Aboriginal people are animals. My name is Maruchi, which means the black swan, and part of the Maruchi songlines and dreaming tracks actually goes down this Brisbane River. Thank you.
The elders, our respectable elders from the past and the present. I'd like to acknowledge and respect Her Excellency the Governor of Queensland, Miss Penelope Wensley, AO. Also, the Honourable Anna Bligh MP, Premier of Queensland. I also extend my acknowledgement to the Leader of the Opposition, Mr. John Paul Lambrook, and the Honourable Lord Mayor of Brisbane, Mr. Campbell Newman. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a beautiful day today. We celebrate. From where I'm standing, are beautiful people out there. Remind me of my younger days as a trucker's diver. In the Torres Strait, when a dam on the water is so peaceful and tranquility, you can see the different bed of corals under the seabed, and school of fish, different color fish that swims around. That's what I witness here. People of many different colors, different culture, but we have one thing in common. We are all Queenslander. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, in conclude, I'd like to say to you in my traditional language of the Torres Strait, Awaswau.
Today has been conferred a higher honour, the highest honour awarded for services to Australia or humanity, the companion. So please welcome the Governor of Queensland, Ms. Penelope Wensley.
Fine our nation and our people to the things that we respect and we admire in our fellow Australians, to the qualities that we wish others to recognise as the hallmarks of our Australian society. Egalitarianism, tolerance, those words the Lord Mayor used, a fair go for all, mateship, have always been part of this ethos. So too, strength and courage in adversity. A capacity not only for hard work, but to persevere when the going is tough. And a willingness to help others less fortunate. All these rank high as qualities that Australians have valued since the founding of our nation. This year, as disastrous rains and unprecedented floods and rain-related events have engulfed 3/4 of our vast state, Queenslanders have displayed those qualities, all of those qualities, to a truly remarkable degree. And it has touched me deeply, and it has made me inordinately proud as Governor to see people in communities all over the state, some in the most despairing of situations and circumstances, reacting neither with despair nor with self-pity, but with dignity and strength, with resolution and determination to go on, and above all, with concern and compassion for others. We have seen, all of us, over and over again, displays of stoic acceptance, of resilience, and of strength of character by those who have lost everything but who absolutely refuse to be victims, who time and time again bravely maintain there are others worse off. I have seen, we have all seen and heard of countless anonymous acts of selflessness and kindness as people have reached out to each other and as people have pulled together. Strangers, total strangers, turning up to help others. An extraordinary spirit of community. And we have witnessed enormous generosity of a different kind, as many thousands of people and companies have donated not only money but goods and services, and also their time and their effort and their energy and their hard work as volunteers to aid the recovery. An ancient continent of extremes is the land itself. At this exceptionally difficult time, with communities, infrastructure and crops devastated, our exports and investment threatened, lives and memories lost, and a long, difficult, painful recovery road ahead, we have all been reminded that this land is a great leveller.
Gifts, our beauty